I'm into. I'm a dancer. I produce, but I'm still learning, so I can't really until like I'm really like confident enough. I can't really say I'm a producer yet, but I'm good though. So every day you learn, you feel me, and you can grow. So until I feel like until I feel like you know what, nobody can touch me. Right now, I know, but I have to for real, for real. I don't know, but yeah, I still say that I'm a producer, and yeah, that's pretty much it. And yeah, I'm part of a collective called Ascension Police. It's a music group too, which consists of like Brian BC, Space Rover, Her Kid, and Banzai. Yeah,
Cool. Which one did you start doing first? Is it the dancing or the rapping?
dancing. I've always been a. I feel like I've always just like been a dancer, and I always had the love for music, but mostly just growing up because I'd like watch Chris Brown on TV. That the man probably like practically or like literally just like I'd say in a way I kind of say like he raised me in terms of just like watching him or how he used to like how he dresses up or how he moved. Besides all the bad publicity aside or whatever troubles he had to go through, but in terms of just like anything artistic that he had to give or show to the world, that inspired me a lot. So especially with like dancing, which right now comes into just like mostly me being a performer. He's one of the people that actually like inspire me, like the things that I do in performances. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. And I say kind of Chris Brown and his performing kind of redefined music, if we can call
Yeah.
it that, because he really like brushed the line between hip hop, R&B,
True.
dancing. He was one of the very first people to do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool,
Nah, nah,
cool, cool.
true. And he does really well too. Like it's
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Like you can't front on Chris Brown. Like you have like
He really
proper
can't.
hip hop guys, popping and locking and everything, and and when he does his rapping thing, I don't know if you've heard he has a mixtape with Tyga.
Yeah, fan of a fan.
Fan
I
of a
know.
fan. One of
I'm
my
a
favorite works from like a R&B guy and a hip hop guy, and I felt like that was like a hip hop mixtape, pretty much. Like
what?
he held his own. Yeah. All right, cool.
He,
You headlined Perfect Noise recently, right?
yeah.
How was the experience? How did you find that?
It was one just like the day itself, just like of the Perfect Noise show. It was amazing. I'd
Yeah.
say I don't know. Maybe some would say I'm biased, but just like from maybe some of the team, like the perfect, like the members of this like the Perfect Noise team, or whether it just be from people that have attended Perfect Noise. Some of us just like feel like that was probably like the best Perfect Noise ever, and I honestly feel the same too. So I had a blast. It was challenging in the sense of just like I feel like any show is challenging, like in terms of just like prep, more so especially when you're like working with other people to like as part of your performance with like because I was working with a live band, had dancers in my act. There were other things that were in there too, but due to like I don't know unforeseen circumstances, some people couldn't like partake in my act or my set. So I don't know. It's okay. It was still amazing. Like literally, all everybody in the lineup, besides just me being the headliner, everybody I feel like almost or if not like everybody was embraced during the show, and everybody was
Yeah.
really yeah.
No, dope. Because I heard it was a very good show, especially like with kind of like some of the trials, like changing of venue and everything, to be able to still have made it as good as it was, to a point where I heard that it was really dope. Shout out to you, man. Well done. Well done.
Thank you, thank you to
All right.
Perfect North. Thank you to everybody on the lineup for making it happen, and thank you like
Fresh.
Abaroni Club. It was yeah, nah, but that was the best. That was the best one for sure.
Nah, nice, nice.
Yeah,
And tell me a bit about your product, like your the genre of music you make, and what you have going on right now, and where can we catch your music? Where can we find it? How can we buy it? All of that.
yeah. Uh, for one, I'd say like I'm a very versatile artist, but in terms of just like the what I'm mostly just like tapped into or focused on is like alternative music or contemporary or R&B and hip hop music. So I don't know, in terms of just like what I've given people so far, that's what the music is in line with. Just like contemporary R&B or alternative music or a little bit of hip hop. The first project that I dropped, one of like my first projects that I dropped is called Caruso Free Lucas. That's the one project that actually got me that little attention that I have right now, or just opened doors for me. Which is it's like it's a 7 track EP, and it's a project that's just like that has just like various sounds. There's a Guaito song. I think there's like a Guaito song in there, or like an Amapiano song in there. There's maybe two, three R&B songs, and there's like maybe one or two more like hip hop songs in there. It's like it was like a proper start for me. It just showcased like my my journey when I made the attempt to actually like make music. Because when I started out, I was like I was a I was clueless. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know like really what it took to make a complete beautiful song. And I started with my friend Space Rover, who's also an artist.
Yeah.
And yeah, but right now it's like with everything that we're doing this year, 2024. I just released. I like this year. I released like two songs, which are like collab songs for the album that Space Rover and I are trying to like put out this year. And the two songs are called Mwana, and the other song is called Buga. And all that music is available on all streaming platforms, whether it be Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube. Like it's available everywhere. And I'm also part of, like I said, a collective called Ascension Please. We have 3 singles out, and we're working on giving people more music. And the project is coming for sure because people really love Ascension Please. Yeah,
Yeah. No, dope. I can't wait for that because I think as a collective, those projects really showcase, what you guys can do together, and it
so
does a lot also just to bring people in, to what you guys are, and I
yeah,
think having that out will do a lot, just to show the people that you guys are about your business and everything. No, cool. And how can the people get a hold of you if anybody wants to, to sample your music? If anybody wants to reach out for bookings, how can they
yeah.
do that?
I'm available on Facebook and Instagram, but mostly Instagram at Lucas underscore Chubbs. And if you're trying to reach me via email, just type out or write out Lucas Chubbs 8, the number 8
Mm-hmm.
at gmail.com. Lucas Chubbs 8 at gmail.com. And yeah, and then if anybody tries to like tries to reach out, whether it's to show love or whether it's to actually work with me, all they have to do is just like, yeah, especially if
All
it's
right.
work, trying to like collaborate like through,
Mm,
you want to send a song, just send it via email at lucaschaps8gmail.com. And maybe just hit
okay.
me on Instagram to let me know that, yo, I've sent you an email. Yeah,
All right. No, awesome. And there's always. I know you're a young man trying to do this thing, and
yeah,
I don't know how much support you have from your family. I'm guessing you do have support from your family,
yeah.
and there's people out there, who are trying to do the same thing, but it doesn't always go according to their plans. What word of advice, or what word of encouragement would you have for such young people like yourself trying to get out there?
I feel like for anybody trying to like start music, um, I feel like there are like three to like five things for me. There's like three to five things that like matter.
Mm,
One has to be like you have to have like a sense of self awareness or
mm,
like self identity. You have to have like a high level of commitment and dedication. You have to
mm,
be aware of your surroundings, and you have to be like maybe the fourth thing could be like you have to be able to like sacrifice and expect nothing. Like the last thing I don't know, I probably said a bunch of things. But the last thing could be like don't expect too much from people.
yeah,
Like nobody owes. I feel like nobody really owes you like that faith or to like the to just like believe in you when they don't know who you are, whether you're talented or not. You, it's your responsibility to make people listen. It's your responsibility to make people see your worth or see what it is you have to offer. Whether you're you make the best song, you spend like the whole year trying to make one single song. I don't know what it is, whatever it is you're trying to get into, whether it be dancing, whether it be anything creative or anything artistic. Because with me, like my family knows that I make music and they're they're supportive to some extent, but like I just feel like what as I'm doing it, it's just like it's a me thing. But it's like I wouldn't help a lot, but like you give me 500 bull, I'm trying to record a shoot a music video. So like
yeah,
one of the one big, it's a big challenge.
yeah,
It's a big thing. So to just especially like to be like to come from like rich families or people are just might just be considered normal. Like it's if you decide to take that path to actually show the world your artistic side or to be able to try to like to try to be able to express yourself like that, it takes a lot and it's really up to you. And if you're self aware, you expect nothing from people, you're committed and devoted and just like, you know, stay focused, like you're
yeah.
good. Yeah.
All right. All right, man. Thank you so much for taking the time. Really appreciate it. What I usually do, at the end is I'm probably gonna snip this. Not probably, I will snip it, and before it goes back up on the channels, I'll send it to you so you can have a look, and then you can spread the word around. Yeah.
Appreciate you. Thank you so much
Yeah.
for having me. And
And I
yeah,
and I owe you an in-person interview. We'll make that happen in the next few weeks also, and yeah, that'll be that. All right, man. Take it easy. Yeah.
appreciate you.
All right. One.
Love.
All right, guys. That was Lucas, right? Lucas Chubbs. Thank you so much for taking the time to have this chat. I'm just waiting for Donald to come through. I'm sure he'll come if everything happened according to plan. I'm sure he'll come in the next few. Let me fix my microphone real quick. I'm sure he'll come in the next few minutes. Let me see. Yeah, thank you for everybody who watched and who showed love. You can see people are actually out there doing their thing. Thank you so much for Katso for being here. Really appreciate that. That was Lucas Chubbs, and of course we're gonna. I'm working on a really dope playlist that I'm gonna be showcasing next week, if not before. And what I'm trying to do is every artist that comes in is going to be part of that playlist, and during breaks or when or whenever the playlist is done, we're gonna showcase it. We're gonna put it out there for you guys to enjoy. As I wait for Donald to come in, I'm just going to play some music. We're gonna play some music because that's what we do. We're about that music life. And I'm just actually, I think I've got some. Yeah, I've got some Lucas Jobs right here. I've got Do You Love Yourself, which is gonna come up in just a second. Oh my god, it's too big. These songs are too big. These songs are too big, but I think yeah, I'm gonna have to work on his songs a little bit just to make sure they're good. So meanwhile, let me see if I can find something that works over here. All right, it'll have to do. He's gonna be mad at me, but you know, music is music, and we play music because it's good, and it's not really about how we feel most of the time. I'm gonna play some BC right now. BC is an upcoming artist who's really, really dope, and he's really working to get his EP out. And he actually sent me a preview a few days ago, so I can't wait to hear that. So here's BC. Enjoy, and we'll be right back.
Uptown and no town, sun up to sundown. Hustle block, don't stop. Chief drive, how we strive. Baseline. BC. You could tell them who you are, not what you're about. Most of the time they wanna claim your name for the clout, but only 4% saw me make it out that drought. I had to remember that it's all within throughout. I saw that gleam of light when I took that route. As supreme as Elohim, I had no doubt. I sowed the right seeds and watched them sprout, then send in scouts to get the right info day in, day out. Then they come back different, acting bizarre, asking questions that seem to take things too far. To see if you met the standard or you raised that bar, to see if your scars match up to who you are. But the fact is that these scouts are just actors, putting in great work for the benefactors. It's been a factor. I lost my chiropractor, so I keep a 180 on me like a protractor. Where I'm from, it's like the land of the snakes, where most folks want to claim that they love you for heaven's sakes. Gotta understand what it really takes, cause you can't ride or die no man to the pearly gates. Where I'm from, it's like the land of the fakest, where most folks are fiending for external validation. Like how you still stuck in the matrix. I'm G checking your grassroots, we going back to basics. I'm from the blocks where they live a soft life, moving the hardware. But keep your intentions clear if you wanna be treated fair. With custies drop thick pullers on you out of thin air. Make magician moves, know when to disappear. A power circle of super squares, create a Rubik's Cube. Every piece should be well aware of the objective move. Play the role, meet our goals, stay 10 toes. Drop jewels when it's due. Break bread with your kin folks. We've been knowing something's off, so we move different. It's mind blowing how we all started moving deliberate, but some got caught up in hypocrisy. Conspiracies are putting popularity over sincerity. Sincerely, this type of work don't come natural. But don't compare me, I wasn't born to be comparable. Here's the parable. Who you know give you gold out of terrible, and turn desert sand into land so arable. Where I'm from, it's like the land of the snakes, where most folks wanna claim that they love you for heaven's sakes. Gotta understand what it really takes, cause you can't ride or die no man to the pearly gates. Where I'm from, it's like the land of the fakest, where most folks are fiending for external validation. Like how you still stuck in the matrix. I'm G checking your grassroots, we going back to basics.
So yeah, that was BC. I'm not gonna tell you the title of the song because I don't even know if I should be playing it. But you know, it's all good, it's all right, and we loving it. Um, Shout out to BC. Here's the thing. I started a bit late, so you know, bear with me. I'm still actually getting my bearings, and there's some things I'm still trying to do, and I don't know if it's gonna work, but you know, it's all love, it's all light, it's all good, you know. And if you're out there and if you're watching this with us today, tomorrow, next week, this is your boy Eddie, and this is Converse, where we react to everything that's happening in and around you know, the world and just social media, because it's a lot, man. It's a lot. There's a lot going on. Every day there's something going on. Every week there's something going on. I mean, um, you know, just this week there was a memorial service for the for the 45 people that lost their lives out in South Africa over the long weekend. So, once again, condolences to their families, and may they be comforted. And there's a lot else. I mean, if you're in the know, if you're a hip hop head like me, you do know there was a 2-3 day fake beef between K Dot, Kendrick Lamar, and J Cole, and what I like about that beef is, or that fake beef, or that fake back and forth, I think I just appreciated the fact that there's still some real hip hop heads out there who know the difference between what's real and what's not. Right? A lot of people were hyping up this thing like something was about to go down, but we all knew it was nothing at all. I think I switched on something I shouldn't have switched on. I just realized something. I just realized that my face is not my face. It looks so weird. Yes, this is what I look like. Okay, guys. So just in case I looked a little bit over filtered. It's this thing that I use for like professional interviews and everything that makes my face look a little bit softer. But yeah, my bad. So yeah, so fake beef between K Dot and J Cole, and my real ones picked it up real early to say, yo, listen, this is not real. This is not real. This is not happening. We know what's going on, and and you guys are faking it. You're faking it. And by fake, I don't mean the artists themselves. I mean, like, you can tell when two artists are have some form of animosity, and rather than really take it to the streets, they decide, what, we're gonna keep it on wax. But this is real competition. Either we're really going at it, or we have a real misunderstanding, but it's not that crazy that we have to take it to the streets, right? And this is hip hop terms. When we say that, we're just saying it to mean, there's people who don't like each other, right? And they don't like each other to a point where it's like, if they get in the same environment, they're gonna fight. So there's that dislike and disdain, but there's artists that don't necessarily that are not necessarily on the same wavelength, and they're like, listen, it's not that deep to a point where we're gonna fight, but I'm gonna annihilate you, or I'm gonna make sure your career is short-lived, right? So, for example, let me give you examples. If you look at 50 Cent and Ja Rule, for example, they really didn't like each other, and that like could have become, it almost went into things. And I think the whole situation with Pac and Biggie, I think, stopped it from really going crazy. And rather than going at each other physically, they kept it 100 and kept it on wax. And 50 just made sure that Ja's career was shorter than Leprechaun's. If you hear what I'm, if you get my gist. So that's an example, right, of something that could have gone sideways that didn't. And we could look at, of course, there's the Jay-Z and Nas beef, which could have easily just gone to crazy heights once again, but they kept it, just to the lyrical aspect of it. And that remains the biggest battle that we know, right, in terms of Jay-Z takeover, Nas, Ether, and yeah, and again, it could have gone anywhere, but it didn't, right? So those are like proper competition born out of some really messed up situations. Because when you hear about what Jay-Z said about what he did with Nas's baby mama, it was crazy, and if you hear about Jay-Z's mom getting involved and telling her son to apologize to the man, it was really could have gone really crazy, because also both sides had some serious backing. Like, if you look at the time, I believe state property was still a thing, right? So you had Beanie Siegel, you had PD Crack, you had the Young Guns and all of these guys on Jay-Z's camp. And on Nas's side, him just being from Queensbridge means Mobb Deep, and all of those guys who actually Jay-Z dissed on the Takeover song were riding for Nas, and it could have gone crazy, but it didn't. It didn't. They understood what was at stake. They understood that they didn't want a repeat of the Jay-Z, I mean the Biggie Pac situation, especially two guys being from New York. That would be crazy. And of course, on top of that, you know, um, they just knew that no, listen, it's the problem with the Pac and Biggie beef is that it stemmed from one, misunderstanding, and two, it was fueled by elements that don't understand hip hop and are just about the bottom line, which is making money. So I think Jay and Nas really understood what was at stake. They also knew that, listen, at the end of the day, we want to sell records, and that's what it's about. Being king of New York is not about an actual throne, an actual crown. It's about who's most relatable, who's most lyrical, and who's selling the most records, right? That's what it is. And yeah, Nas prevailed, right? So K Dot versus J Cole, I didn't rate that at all. I didn't rate it. Um, I feel like K Dot was trying to just stir things up because hip hop nowadays is very docile, it's very friendly, and I think K Dot, credit to him for always wanting to just stay competitive, to stir the pot and say, guys, in as much as we're cool, when it comes to these lyrics, y'all can't touch me. That's all right. And I think what happened was the media jumped on that, and social media jumped on it and made it seem like, this is a fight. This is a fight. This is what's going on, and these guys got to go at each other. But it was nothing. It was nothing really. It was nothing going on there. And that J Cole response was horrible. And I bet you, I'm just glad Game didn't get involved. And I really wish, before Cole apologized and took that thing, I really, really wish Game got involved. And I really wish he would have thrown some darts at everybody, because Game would have done 700 miles and running and rapped for like 30 minutes straight and taking shots at everybody on the other side, on Drake's and J. Cole's side. But I mean, let's see. I mean, it's still simmering. I don't see it going anywhere. I really think with Cole waving the white flag, I think it's gonna blow over. And I'll tell you a story, right? As I wrap up this side of things, there's a time I remember, West Side Connection had beef with Cypress Hill, and it was real crazy because and you can watch, like, I think the first or the second edition of the beef documentaries, um, which like did a really good job at just documenting some of these situations where people had some back and forth, but it didn't spill over. It just stayed on in the studio. So basically, Cypress Hill says, Be Real says, they really looked up to Ice Cube, right? And they they invited Ice Cube over because I think they either just before, or just after they had appeared on one of Ice Cube's movies or something like that. I think after Friday or something like that. And um so they invited Ice Cube to the studio to hear some songs that they were doing and to kind of like get his views. And they played a song for Cube, and Cube wanted the beat, and they were like, nah, you can't have that beat, or you can't have that song, because we already got some things on it. And by the way, we already sent you something. It was before the Friday thing. So yeah, it was cool. Cube was like, all right, cool. And apparently, according to Be Real, was like, let me hear that thing again. All right, cool. So Cube went about his way. Come to hear a song that Cube was done, whose chorus that sounds very similar to a song that they had did, because they were singing throw your sets in the air, and Cube did a similar song, basically all pretty much stealing their idea or their song, more or less. So So and then it happened again, because initially they were like, nah, maybe they're bugging, and then it happened again where Cube pretty much took their song and flipped it. So they dissed Cube, right? They dissed Cube, and they did have some altercations. I remember apparently there was a situation where they were in the club, and the Cypress Hill crew kind of beat up one of Cube's guys, and stole that person's lynch mob chain. But anyway, but it didn't really wasn't really crazy like that, because I don't think Cube retaliated or whatever. And so even back then, you had beefs and things didn't really you know get crazy like that. But I really wish Game would get involved in this Kid J. Cole thing, because then he would really I think he would go nuts. He would go nuts and go crazy and just diss everybody, if you know what I mean. But yeah, shout out to you guys out there. The real ones who picked it up and who said, nah, this ain't real. These guys are bugging. They're playing. They really, and guys were like, yeah, they've been announcing a record together for the longest time. They're probably just trying to get that thing out and what. So yeah, so we all know it was really nothing. And we're really just moving on and doing our own thing. All right, cool. We're gonna go on another break. I'm gonna play some from way back in the day, and then when we come back, we're gonna talk about superfoods. I don't know if Donald's gonna make it, because he sent me a couple of messages. I think he was maybe telling me he wasn't able to make it or whatever. I don't know, but we're going to stay hopeful. Meanwhile, we're gonna continue our conversation on the other side of this right here.
GT, check. Father God, I thank you for the way my mama raised me. I came up slow and I know that she was never impatient. She told me I'm made for the money on every occasion. The song chased the back, cause it's the one supposed to chase me. It's hard to get me out the picture, yeah, you can't erase me. It's also hard to get a duplicate, you can't replace me. A lot of people watching closely how music will change me. They better tune into the next episode in the making. Started in 2013, but I was only 12. Did it on my own, cause I didn't have nobody else. Then I told my family music is my only friend. My mama didn't like it cause she thought I was under a spell. Who can relate? Topics up for debate. Time to make a million, then take myself out on a date. Give me some months, then I'll show you how to prevail. GT on every chart, say my name in vain. Yeah, a lot of rappers say they grew up in some dungeons. I grew up in a village where nobody paid attention. So all the small things, no one really cares. You bottle things up like you living in a casket. There's the red flag silence when I step in the room. No imitations, I am me, I don't wanna be you. I must admit that I was holding back when I was in school, but now it's different. I shine more when I'm in the booth. Books are not meant for me, but I'm meant for the books. Write my name down in history, then have my kid take a look. Looking clean, so it's been a hobby, now I gotta change that. I do it for the passion, I don't do it for the paper. Do it for my people, I am real, don't need makeup. Hustle till I get what I want, gotta stay up. Wake up, it's time to shake this up. Giving me the story so they stop making things up. People always told me, G, you better figure it out. I'm trying to figure it out, that's why I'm bringing this up. Yeah, it's the red flag. Our first ever EP, red flag. Y'all know what's up. Anyway, bring the beef. Hey, a lot of people, they haters will probably think that I'm capping. The only reason they hating is like they can't see the vision. But hip-hop is my religion and they may not wanna listen. But I'ma go hard, work until they dance to my rhythm. I can't believe it, I'm finally picking out the pieces, putting myself together and I focus on the mission. The mission is to eradicate all the poverty. By poverty, I'm talking whack rappers in the rap game. Hey, look at yourself in the mirror. Do you see the same reflection or you see yourself bigger? When it's crunch time, people call me G, come deliver. I be like, nah, wait till I'm still counting the digits. I'm an underdog, but I know I'ma make it in the game. Once I step in, rappers gon' be scared and act like they okay. I've been low-key, but I think it's time I get back in the game. I ain't talking about checkers, I'm talking the rap game. Yeah, GT.
better way. Yeah, Kush, and another one. Alicia Keys, girl, I keep on falling. Love, I'm on the steez, wish you seize this moment. Got me feeling we should do the unthinkable. Keisha Cole, heaven sent, think you need to know. Yeah, Mariah Carey, we belong together. Love, it's got some glory just to be remembered. Cause it's not so common that you find forever. My one resolve, fingers crossed, is still doing better. Bless, it's the rejection that I find acceptance. Lord, love is war, what a crude endeavor. Does it all sound to you like a fool's perception? Everybody pays their dues at their own discretion. Look, I've had enough playing pickable. So before my time is up, I should pick a bull. Yo, so many dudes trying to get at you. So who is it you finna give it to? Girl, you should realize I'm a simple guy. Your hips and thighs got me hypnotized. But I wanna see your mind, what you keep inside. Behind those pretty eyes, I see a big pride. Till I wait until I'm gone, girl. You don't wanna be alone, girl. Till I wait until I'm gone. You don't wanna be alone. Till I wait until I'm gone, girl. You don't wanna be alone, girl. Till I wait until I'm gone. You don't wanna be alone.
I'm not aiming to impress you or aiming to undress you. I'm aiming to address you as a man full of virtue. No, I'm not here to work you just to hurt you, then desert you, or go around campus telling people that I sexed you. I'm not just the kind of man, girl, I'm the kind of man. We can go around the whole world in my caravan. We can all fly in the sky, sour higher end. Ride a flying carpet causing marvelous in Wonderland. I wanna show you places, have you make all sorts of faces. You can place your faith in me, I'ma be your rock of ages. Pay you the attention you deserve, daily wages. What the blazes, how you do it like you do it, still amazing. See, I owe you nothing but some old school loving, like I told you, muffin. I'm the one, no bluffing, no fronting. What I'm wanting is for you to say something. We can head to my cabin and start with the handcuff.
Till I wait until I'm gone, girl. You don't wanna be alone, girl. Till I wait until I'm gone. You don't wanna be alone. Till I wait until I'm gone, girl. You don't wanna be alone, girl. Till I wait until I'm gone. You don't wanna be alone.
Minanawi, I know we've had our bad days. Salakala, you occupied my heart space. Salibali, my heart is in the right place. Salakala, Minanawi, my heart is in the right place. Salakala, you occupied my heart space. Salibali, nobody taking that place.
All right. So that was my main man, Sam Kush with Saint Valley, and before that, we heard from that was GT. GT is my homie. GT, I'm still waiting for GT to do her thing in the studio. But she went to school, and I think she just focused on that right now, which is fine. It's allowed. So I just want to take some time to talk about something very, very, very interesting. And I just want to talk to you about superfoods. Superfoods are like it's like stuff that really helps you become a better, a healthier individual. That's what a superfood is. So there's something out there. Um, So basically, it's a super boost to your diet, and there's something out there called CMOS. And in case you didn't know, CMOS, is basically a gluten-free source of a bunch of nutrients. You know what I'm saying? And it's got a lot of benefits, a lot of things that you can get out of it that are really good. And sometimes we don't get everything that we need from the sources that we have, so we need an extra little something to boost us, if I can say it that way. So So what are some of the benefits for sea moss, especially for men, right? So energy level boosting. Me for example, I work extra hard. I tend to sleep late, tend to wake up early, and I don't eat very healthy, because I'm always on the road. I'm always on my laptop. I'm always busy. So it's very hard to kind of like to keep a balanced diet per se. So CMOS, helps, with energy levels just to keep that high. Testosterone levels, in case, not in case, but every man needs a high, good level of testosterone. So it helps with that general boosting of your immune system as well. It may improve your heart health. Cardiac health is very important. Gut health also, because there's a lot of things that you put in our stomachs, right? And CMOS can help with that. Thyroid health, but that hasn't really been proven. Building muscle or maintaining your muscle size, it helps with that as well. Stronger bones and joints, and of course, most importantly, it helps with male fertility. You know what I'm saying? So, what are some more benefits? And basically, CMOS contains more than 92 minerals. So it'll help with your heart, with digestion. Help you maintain your weight. It's a great post workout recovery tonic. You know, and supports really good immune health, improves your metabolism, supports good hair, skin, and nails, and it definitely will improve your libido. If that is not something that makes you want to go get some CMOS, I don't know what will. And for the ladies, let me see. It's almost pretty much the same hormonal balance, improves your fertility issues, eases menstrual cramping, regulates your vaginal pH, helps you fight anemia, reduces IBS complications, provides nutrients for pregnant or nursing women, and helps with the fight against endometriosis and fibroids. So, you can get yourself some CMOS today. You know what I'm saying? Get yourself some CMOS today. Just give me a shout, holla at me, and I can put you in touch with where you can get that good, good CMOS. So you can call. Actually, I'm just gonna, because I'm a nice person, I'm gonna tell you what you can do. I'm gonna tell you what you can do to get that good CMOS, so that you're 100. So there's this company locally called Gua. So I hope I'm pronouncing it right. As GHUWA, Gua, or Gua, I don't know. Calorato. So they make CMOS gel. I think, even better. Let me do this, right? Because I think, let me do some because I'm that dude. And God's gifts are there for us to explore. They are there for us to explore. So I'm gonna do a little sum for you guys, just so that we can do this together. The reason for this here broadcast is so that we can do things together, right? So let me grab that. Let me grab that real quick. Yeah, let me grab that real quick and do this, just so you can see. Okay, so CMOS, GUA. If you want to get yourself some CMOS, you can call or text the number on the screen right there, 71750022. Ingredients: 100% organic CMOS and alkaline water. It's a nice little concentrate, nice little something you can have. And of course, you should consume it within 2 to 3 weeks from purchase. The gel can be consumed as is, or it can be added to shakes or smoothies, or put it on your face, for 30 minutes to an hour. Then you can wash it off. So basically, some of what CMOS has in it is vitamin A, C, E, and K. Also high vitamin B1, B2, and B12, which interestingly most vegetarian diets lack. So if you're vegetarian, sea moss is definitely something you want to add to your diet. And because it's you basically mix the organic sea moss with what you're having is basically an add-on. All right, so it's also high in magnesium, phosphates, and sodium. All right, so yeah, so it's basically a superfood. It's a nice little add-on to what you're already having, and it will definitely help. I'm gonna get myself some sea moss, as soon as I get a chance to, because I really think it will help me, with with my and the interesting thing is, as you get older, right? As you get older, you you eat poorly, a lot more poorly, the older you get. That's a fact, right? And so things like this are really, really, really good for you. And it's very affordable. You can buy a jar. One jar is 150 pula, and you can get two jars for 250 pula. So get yourself some CMOS. Call the number if you need that information. Either you call the number or you holler at me, and I'll put you in touch with the right people. I'll just send you the flyer, like this little brochure that you can look at, and it'll have the contact numbers, it'll have the prices, and you can get yourself some sea moss. Brilliant. All right, cool. Now, what I want to do now is I just want to go through my timeline real quick. Uh, I think Donald might have been held up because he's definitely not here. And we're here until 8 p.m. So what I want to do now is I just want to go through my timeline just to appreciate what is going on in the world of FB. Like, something I like to do is just go through, what's been happening, and just giving my take on it, and just appreciating everything that's going on in the world. We spoke about the battle, that silly fake battle. Oh, there's something else I want to talk about. Okay, there's something else I want to talk about. Again, sadly, it's we're done with CMOS. We're done with CMOS. Sadly, it's hip hop related. So if you're not about that life, then just you might learn something. Just stick around. There's let me see. Maybe I can actually let me see if I can get this graphic for you guys, again, for you guys to appreciate, because I mean, we are here to talk, right? So we should do that. There's a graphic, a very interesting graphic that was shared on social media, and this graphic basically, it shows the legacy of Rockefeller Records. If I can, yeah, I call it that, the legacy of Rockefeller Records. It's very straightforward. You see. I'm gonna show you. I'm just gonna upload it in a second. Give me 1 second, just so you guys can appreciate. So we can appreciate it together. So it's something I really want to do, because it's important for us to be on the same wavelength, you know. So yeah, if you can see that, you can see Damon, Biggs, and Jay Z, right? And you can see how each one of these guys kind of the moves they made, after the famous Rockefeller breakup. You can see Damon. Damon is the reason we have Cameron. If you remember, um, Cam is pretty much, or Dipset is the reason why there was that really a lot of animosity between Dame and Jay, because Dame went and signed Dipset without necessarily letting Jay know, and he went ahead, and Dame went ahead and made, I think he made Cam president or vice president of the label or something like that, which Jay didn't take too kindly of. Anyway, so from the connection to Dame, we got Cam, we got Dipset, we got Jules, we got Jem, and we got Clue, Desert Storm. Desert Storm, of course, we know gave us Fabulous. We have Benny Siegel, which gave us State Property. Where you have Freeway, Petey Crack, and Young Guns. You have Kanye West. Again, Kanye West, right? Kanye West a lot of people didn't know what to do. Like Rockefeller didn't know what to do with Kanye West, right? And it's, in my opinion, Dame really gave him a chance to say, "Yo, show us what you can do." And of course, Ye had that crazy listening session that he bankrolled himself, and that kind of steamrolled everybody into him getting his own deal. And Kanye West remains the biggest thing that came out of Rockefeller, right? Because with Kanye West, you got good music. You got the Ye brand, the Ye Adidas, the Yeezy Adidas, you know, collaboration. You have these crazy creative designers, Virgil, Don C, Jerry Lorenzo, that worked as interns for Ye, that now went on to do great things, like Virgil Abloh, rest in peace to him, went on to found Off White, and went up to be creative director at Louis Vuitton. Don C, is tied to some of the biggest names in the world of fashion. Your Nikes and your Air Jordans, and of course Jerry Lorenzo. We know, is the author or the founder of Fear of God brand, and of course out of Kanye West. Whether you like it or not, you did get Kid Cudi as well. You got Two Chains, John Legend, Pusha, Big Sean, Tiana Taylor, designer. Pretty much rebirthed Common. Anyway, so that's Beans. I mean, that's Damon Dash. We got the Rockaway clothing line, and ties to Nori as well. Very instrumental in Nori getting the success he got. Of course, Dame. You got. If you remember, there's that vodka brand, Armadale. Remember Armadale vodka? They really pushed that, and it did things for them. And then with Biggs. So what I don't know is, I think I think this graphic didn't do a very good job of 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 showing the legacy of everybody, because what it's making it seem is that it's making it look like, yeah, this one was under Dame, this one was under Biggs, and this one was under Jay. But I think what they were trying to just show was, I cool, these three guys were part of this major label, and this is what came out of it. The sad part is the fact that they had Dame and Jay on either side made it look like, yo, this is what Damon did and this is what Jay did. And yeah, Donald is gonna come in a second. Let me just respond to him. So Donald is gonna be in a second. It's not a problem. So it made it seem like, the whole thing of competition. It really made it seem like, oh, this side is Damon, this side is Jay. So this is what Damon did. Although yes, a lot of what is on his side, he's the author, because he was the label guy, whereas Jay-Z is the rapper. So it's a bit strange. But yeah, on this side you have Jay-Z stuff, which is the 4040 Barclays title, Puma, Aces of Spades, Duce, Rock Nation. Now I might be wrong for this, and people did come at me, right? But I do take I'm gonna take this down for a second so you guys can hear me. I do take myself as a bit of a historian, right? Like, I'm a hip hop guy. Okay, like I grew up listening to hip hop, and really appreciating what hip hop has done, right? And in that appreciation, right, I really, really, really went into it and really, did the most in in studying, right? If I could call it that, right? Just studying and appreciating and all of that. Now, the interesting thing about that three-way situation between oh my goodness, that three-way situation is really that there's three sides to what was going down. Oh my god, I'm all over the place right now. there's three sides to what was going down, right? There was so there's three sides to what was happening. There's of course there's Dame side of the story, there's Jay side of the story, and there's what really happened, right? And because there was a clear separation between the two in terms of who, right? Because when Jay left, he took the name, which destabilized Dame Dash, but he also took part of the team, right? TT, Memphis Bleak, Kanye West went with Jay, and Dame basically stayed with some of the lower tier artists and Dipset, right? I think if I remember correctly, yeah. So sadly, right, because Jay Z is Jay Z, right? Jay Z remained with majority of the cloud, right? He kept the cloud. So what a lot of what he said was seen and viewed as gospel truth, and a lot of what Dame was saying was just viewed as the ramblings of a bitter old man. You feel me? It's just nah. This guy's just he's just talking. He's not really saying anything. What in the world? Sorry about that, guys. This guy is just he's just rambling. He's not really saying anything and whatnot, whatnot. And but as time went on, people started realizing that hey, wait a minute, this dude, he's actually making he's actually making sense, you know, and is actually making a lot of sense. And more and more guys started realizing that nah, that Jay-Z story is not really hitting home like that, it's not really hitting home like that. What the hell is going on here? Give me a second, guys. Oh, I don't know what's going on. Guys, I'm trying. There's something I'm trying to do, and I keep getting it wrong. I don't know why I'm getting it wrong, but yeah, like I was saying, it was. Let me do this because my nature is I never give up, and I think it's a fault. I keep trying until I until I get something going, and sometimes it's a problem because it drives me crazy. It's one of those things where I keep doing it until I get it right. It'll drive me crazy, but I'm not gonna stop. And it's just a problem. But I need to do it because but I can't get it. I can't get it right. I'm trying to do some and I'm not winning. I've tried everything and I'm not winning, and it's driving me crazy. It really is driving me crazy. I don't know what to do. It's really driving me crazy, and I'm kind of losing my patience here. All right, guys. I'm gonna play some music, and because what I'm trying to do is it's really weighing on me a lot, and it's driving me nuts. Yeah, I don't know what to do. Am I still? It's driving me nuts, but we don't stop until we get it right. You know what I'm saying? We don't stop until we get it right, and we keep moving until we get it right. So I'm gonna go for another break, right? Another musical break. I have rambled for quite a bit. My man Donald is gonna be on any second now, and so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play another song. I'm gonna play some Tay bars. I'm gonna play some Mark My Words Tay bars, and then when we come back, I'm sure Donald will be ready to go, and then we'll do our thing. All right, cool. See you in a bit.
I can't go until y'all really know what time it is. And then after that, boom, it's all over. And we can see, how this fall. But that's how it is. And the reason being is because if I can't live free, if I can't live with the same respect as the next man, I don't want to be here. Because God has cursed me. Hashtag what life should be like.
I told my girl I'll be a star, I hate to break that promise. For all the stress I caused my mom, one day she'll be the proudest. With a brush that paints my life, I stand the greatest artist. Slave to the music like I'm fella dog, I work the hardest. I'm an intellect, I can translate designers' language. No, you're not slipping on my ish, you'd rather stay harmless. Cause if I wasn't that much lit, you wouldn't pay the homage. Pay the homage big, rewind my hits, there's so much ish accomplished. You niggas soft like fabric, sense to fabricate your ish. There's so much fakes, don't make me drop your names, ain't got all day. Acting sweet for 60 seconds like Minute Maid. That Minute Maid us mortal enemies till we disintegrate, nigga. Mark my words, I'll be a legend when I start breathing. So you can see my heart's bleeding, bars drip like pipes leaking. We're not the same, you cannot walk in shoes you can't fit in. Let's make it clear, like if I'm whacked, then break my last CD. Hardly get nightly dreams, I'm wide awake, I barely catch my sleep. I'm hard to counterfeit in case you're trying to copy me. How do I stop rapping if my journey's not complete? I wrote the greatest verses, niggas out here quoting me. You can't afford to talk your ish, don't talk is cheap, nigga. How the f you trash and find courage to go to sleep, nigga? Wake the fuck up. Now put in work, avoid this work, niggas. Keep your head up and live the day like it's your last, nigga.
And live the day like it's your last, nigga. And live the day like it's your last, nigga.
Hashtag music, music, music.
They're just not built for it. Everything ain't for everybody. See, they cut from different cloths. Some people is cut from leather. Like, you take a person of my caliber. I'm cut from leather. I'm cut from suede. You know what I mean?
If I left it up to y'all, chances are that the genre will be forgotten and rapping a gorge extinct. You rappers are under par. I'm 10 steps ahead of the curve. I know how all of you rappers think. You wondering who we are? We the reason why rappers have started rapping, and some of them had to quit. They hate and what did die? Well, in that case, shut, go tweet about it. We really don't give a who's the most calculated yet heavily underrated. They told me that I should rap and I vividly demonstrated. It's clear to me the game has been sedated. I told them I'm bringing a tombstone if you pitted me with your favorite. Like who's the first in line? Now baking my humble pie with a recipe of disaster inside. Cowards die, the winners survive. I'm taking what is rightfully mine, and I ain't playing with these this time. To be honest, if I left it up to y'all, chances are that the genre will be forgotten and rapping a gorge extinct. You rappers are under par. I'm 10 steps ahead of the curve. I know how all of you rappers think. You wondering who we are? We the reason why rappers have started rapping, and some of them had to quit. They hate and what did die? Yeah, well in that case, shut, go tweet about it. We really don't give a. They some we gotta assess. After dropping the State of Nation address, we'll see who's really the best. Don't go to war and request. Hit up my manager, he gon' give you a price of what I charge for a verse. Revised grip in the city. Head lock it and cut off the oxygen while I'm smoking on sticky icky. I heard your girl is a cheapie. She's most likely to give me head in the stool with them hitters who ride with me, but not to digress, we elevating. Every time my pen touches paper, my inner rating gets activated. While you rappers still contemplating what I'm about to drop, I'm just thinking about how to get Miss Botswana naked. Tongue kissing with Kwame John in a bathtub. Later on proceed to get my dick sucked. Maybe I got too much marijuana and Tanqueray got me messed up. You hating. If I left it up to y'all, chances are that the genre will be forgotten and rapping a gorge extinct. You rappers are under par. I'm 10 steps ahead of the curve. I know how all of you rappers think. You wondering who we are? We the reason why rappers have started rapping, and some of them had to quit. They hate and what did die? Well in that case, shut, go tweet about it. We really don't give a.
All right, cool. We're still here. Um, I'm just going. I need to do one thing, just one thing, and then I'll be right back. I'm still here with y'all. I'm trying to. I'm just trying to set myself up real quick. So I'm gonna. I think it's very far though. I need to grab some. I need to grab some real quick and come back instead. I don't know if I should though because there's a few things I'm trying to do, but the elements are kind of working against us. But I need to do this thing too for the sake of the conversation I'm about to have because I want you guys to hear what this gentleman has to say. So I think you guys maybe give me 5 minutes. Let me grab what I need to grab, come back, and we will continue. All right, cool. I'm just gonna play some lo-fi bits for you guys. Or what do you think? Yeah, and play some lo-fi beats for you guys, and I'll be right back. Give me a sec. Hi,
Eddie,
how are you?
I am good, thank you, sir. I was just hydrating myself.
Is it one of those days where you need serious hydration?
It is a thing where I'm in the UK and we are in spring,
Uh
and
huh.
all of a sudden your heater just feels a little too hot at night.
Yeah.
So you're suddenly gasping. So, yeah.
All right. So how you been though? We're already live. We've been. Me and I'm crazy about live shows. So
Yes, thank you
um,
so much, Eddie.
we're already
I'm so
live. We're
happy
already
to be
gonna
here with you. And
man
thank
and
you.
you. Yeah, go on.
No, I was gonna say thank you so much for hosting me. I haven't done this in a while, so I haven't done any interviews in probably a couple of years. So this is interesting, and for me to be doing that on a podcast, um, that's fantastic. I'm enjoying that.
Yeah, awesome. No, it's my pleasure, and I don't know why I've when you see something going on and things are happening. You're like, no, I need to reach out to this gentleman.
Mm.
And for some reason, it never dawns that, we can have a conversation like this. I think I've,
Mm.
I've just been very spoiled by always being able to have conversations with you in person.
No, you're such a Motswana, Eddie, because Botswana like to see the physical person in front of them. And that is getting in the way of business for me as a film producer now, because I realize that people are like, are you in Gaborone? As soon as I say no, the
No, it's like
conversation is
ish.
"Ah, we can do it like this, like you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think also I've been sleeping on myself, because
Mm.
this is a platform I've had for so long. I've had this platform for so long, but I haven't really been maximizing it. Ish, madam just passed and she forgot to close the door, and now things are happening.
Hello to Madame.
Did she just lock me out?
Hiya.
Did she just actually just locked me because I'm in the veranda and she just locked me out? I don't know what's.
I'm part of
But
the
anyway,
family. This is part of our family dynamic.
absolutely, absolutely.
Yes. Yeah.
And you know what made me really want to reach out to you
Mm,
is the fact that I was with a gentleman here
mm,
in Gabs. I'm gonna say a name, and you must tell me if that name rings a bell, right?
hmm. Yeah.
Rasan Hill.
Yes. Yes, it does.
Yes,
It
we spent
does.
time. We stayed. Oh my god, what the
It
hell was that?
does. In
So
many contexts, it does, actually. Yes.
yes,
Mm,
we spent
including
time
you. Mm.
we spent time together. Like we were here front and center, spent time together. I showed him around, and it was amazing.
Oh,
It
I
was
love that.
amazing. Yeah,
I
it was
love that
brilliant.
because, Hassan is like one of my friends from college in the US, and we kept in touch. And then afterwards, when I think, around 2015, 2016, when I was living in Botswana for a few years, I put up a status where I was talking about the N word, its usage by African Americans and also by continental Africans. And that I thought there was a tension because the usage was just vastly different.
Mm.
Every time it was being used on the continent of Africa, I knew it was a compliment. Um, and every time it was used in the other context, I had to have my antennas on. So you and Rasan came on that conversation on Facebook, and you guys were arguing. You were actually on opposite sides at the time. So I was really happy that you met. Yeah.
And the interesting thing is based on that back and forth that we had,
Mm.
we continued the conversation and we continued talking, and I
Oh,
think we got to a point where he understood that, you know I don't know, fortunately or unfortunately, we only caught the tail end of the usage of that word, right?
right.
And again, fortunately or unfortunately, it stuck.
Yeah.
So I think I always told him that, when we get older, things will always change because the dynamics of the conversations that you're having are completely different.
Yeah.
So, and but that knowledge that you got from that period where you just threw this thing around like there was no tomorrow
Mm.
also allows you to appreciate culture, different cultures, and the
Mm.
impact of not just buying into something but actually understanding where it's coming from.
Mm.
So, and that's where I'm at right now, but I don't want to linger on me too much. Let's talk about what you've been doing
Mm.
here while there, because what you're doing right now, and that's why people are asking you if you're in Botswana, because what you're doing right now is crazy in the sense of you're out there, but you're making moves right here while you're there.
As we should all be doing.
And it's insane. It's a bit sad because you're not here, but at the same time, it's like the fact that this man is able to do all of this while he's there is just brilliant, and we really appreciate it.
Thank you. I
So
appreciate it.
so catch me up on what you've been up to, man. Because I mean, I've been seeing it, but I haven't heard it from you specifically.
Yes, I when I said that as we should all be doing, I meant that we should all be projecting our power to the whole globe. You and I are speaking right now on the eclipse, this historic moon eclipse, lunar eclipse, I guess it's called. And these are things that we should be taking more interest in, because our power extends beyond these borders, beyond our countries and continents. We can reach the world. And I have been busy transforming myself from an actor slash film producer to now being executive producer, which is much more involved, which is much more financially involved, and partly cloudy and hot was the first fruit of that, to express my fingerprint as a filmmaker, to say this is the film that I come into the film industry as a filmmaker with, because people have seen me on film as an actor before. Yes, that's different. But when I have the overall vision of a film, this is the tone, this is the quality. So partly a cloudy and hot then is that kind of a ticket into the industry or business card around the industry as it travels around the world. You're muted,
Sorry,
Eddie.
sorry about that. I was muted. Sorry. There's a lot going on in my life right now, but it's all for
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
I was gonna say that's brilliant, and what the subject matter? Oh my goodness!
yes.
Tell me
We want
about that.
we wanted to talk about male infertility, um, which itself is a taboo subject. We don't talk about it.
Yes,
And
yeah.
the silence around it means that we apportion blame to women automatically in a patriarchal society. So when a couple is struggling to conceive, we think, what is she not eating? How is she not exercising? We know, is she going to church enough? But we never really look at the man and the role that he has to play. And I know from reading the newspapers like Sunday Standard, The Patriot, all these papers around Botswana, that a third of the when a couple is struggling to conceive, a third of the cases is because of male infertility. For me, that's a
Mm, mm,
lot, right?
mm,
And
mm.
some other sources that I've read say it's at least a third.
And you know
So then
what's
I thought,
interesting? Not
mhm.
to cut you off. What's interesting is, so do we have a number on the actual cases that are due, or the ratio of cases that are due to male infertility against what is actually reported? Because I think you'll find that there's a serious skew there. Like,
Mm,
you'll
mm.
find that maybe of that third, only maybe a fifth actually admit that no, it's me and not her. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? Yeah.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're completely right. On two levels, Eddie, in that there is that social level, me not her, that you are talking, you're alluding to. There's also the practical aspect of it, where if you are in Botswana as a man trying to test whether you are fertile or not, it's very expensive. You have to go to a
Mm,
private doctor to really get your results in the time that would be satisfactory to anyone.
mm,
Or you have to order a test kit, um, which works in the same way as the COVID kits that we are now familiar with. You'd have to order that from outside Botswana. So when we were doing Partly Cloudy and Hot as a film, there's a scene where Zanzo Ngobe, the actor, takes a testing kit, and he tests his sperm to see if to test it. And we had to buy those kits
Oh
from
my
outside
goodness.
Botswana. That
Yeah.
speaks to the problem that you're pointing to. So yes, at a social level, it is difficult, and also pragmatically, logistically, you may want it, but where do you get it from if not a
Yeah.
private doctor who
Yeah.
is probably also buying it from the UK or South Africa? Yeah,
Oh, that's hectic.
yeah,
And are you are you are you feeling the impact of, because I mean, there's two things, right? There's the movie as how do you call it, as an entity, right? Like
yeah.
as a product,
Hmm.
and there's the movie from the messaging from the communication is trying to give, right?
Mm.
And where do you feel a lot of feedback is coming from? Is it coming from the fact that this production is brilliant, or would you say it's coming from the message, within the movie? Because from the African context, this is something that really needs to be talked about. I don't know, maybe you can let me know.
Yes, as a filmmaker now myself, more and more, as opposed to a performer, I am having to consider the confluence of good messaging and good technique.
Mm,
I am a Broadway trained actor who performed on Broadway for 15 years. There's no way I can ever let go of technique, whether it's at a literary level or at a performance level or anything like that. And so that was always going to be there. It was always going to be a journey trying to succeed at that level, aesthetic level, best cinematography, all of that. But at the same time, I had to write a story that I could defend, I could stand behind.
mm,
I'm an activist myself. I myself put a lot of time and effort into informing Black men about their bodies. Now, when it comes to them learning about their infertility, that's part of their sexual health. That's
mhm,
part of their understanding that it takes two people to be healthy to create a child. And so when we talk about gender based violence, this is relevant. So there
mm,
were those two things going on at the same time, the activist side as well as the creative side. And Kauneka Rio, Zanzo Ngobe, they both understood because they
mm.
occupy those spaces in their lives as well.
Now that's awesome, and we haven't even gotten to the cast yet. We're still talking about, we're still bringing out the movie itself.
Mhm.
But let's get, now that you mentioned them, let's get to the how was that chemistry? And I'm sure for such a film, it had to be very emotionally taxing, because it's not just about it's not just about acting out the part. It's also about conveying that message, pretty much through the screen. How did
Mhm.
you come up to picking these two people, and how was the chemistry on set as you guys worked?
Mm. I mean, first of all, it started with the story that I wanted to tell, and I was working very closely with Moretti Khabang. I have to give him
Mm,
credit, who is the director of the film. I was lucky to work with the director, who is also a writer, so we
mm,
could bounce off of each other, not just at an artistic aesthetic level, but at the level of writer to writer. That was very helpful to the material. So
mm,
credit to Moretti Khabang. And I then looked for actors who were willing to go wherever the story was willing to go. Um, and Kaone, she and I had spoken about her wanting to act and wanting to do film. She had actually, so we had talked about it. And then Zenzo saying that we had wanted to work together. Um, so I said to them, I have X amount of money. We need Y amount of money to make the
mm.
film. Um, so can you get on board, right?
Can I
So
translate that real quick?
yeah,
Basically, uh, everybody made a sacrifice.
everybody made a sacrifice, but I then after that,
Yeah,
because the thing is, Eddie, this is the way that it went.
yeah,
They then committed to the project, and I said to them, I know that we have to have Y money to
yeah,
make it, but I
yeah,
only have X. right?
Yeah, that's the ends
Give
the
me.
sacrifice, right?
So I said to them, no, no, no. This is before they
Ah.
sign anything. I said
Oh,
to
okay,
them,
okay, okay.
yeah, 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 yeah. I said, give me 12 months. I'm gonna save whatever I make as a keynote speaker around the
Ah,
world through my
yeah.
royalties with my books and my other films, through my
Mm,
everything that I make. There's a percentage I'm gonna give to a PCH fund, right? So I
mm.
said, give me 12 months. After 12 months, I went back to them and I said, okay, from X money, I am happy to report we have Y money.
Okay.
Because I had saved my own earnings from everything that I do and asking from friends, asking, things like that.
Crowdfunding, basically, yeah.
Crowdfunding basically. And I
Yeah.
had to work and then uh to work more regularly because I mean I'm a creative person, so as an actor we don't work that regularly. I had to work very regularly that year and book many things um, for me to fundraise for the film, and in the end that meant my financial involvement translated into creative control, and I could write the film and produce the film. So by the time it's becoming Oscar qualifying, I feel pride knowing that I genuinely gave my sweat to this film and gave my own money for it to be made.
Okay. Now the one of the big question is, you did all of this remotely.
How do you know that, Eddie? Thank you so much for your good
No,
research.
I
Thank you.
pay
You're right.
attention. I pay attention. I pay attention. I'm very observant. I pay attention.
Yes, yes, yes. Uh,
Am I wrong?
you are right. And that's why I say the moon right now is an eclipse tonight.
Yeah.
That's the energy we are supposed to tap into. You can astral project, you can do whatever. I don't know. Anyway, I'm not going to talk about that. But what I'm saying is that we don't have to be in the same place. You and I are having this conversation and we are continents apart.
Yeah. Yeah.
What if business were open more to that possibility? We would reach greater heights.
And I mean, you guys as a team are reaching those heights. Like
Thank you.
just trusting this thing to do what it was supposed to do. I mean, the main act. I'm not gonna say his name because I'm gonna butcher it.
Yeah,
He's from South
Zenzo, Zenzo.
Africa. Senzo, yeah, he's from SA, and for him to trust that it's going to happen. I mean, and Botswana is not a very big. It's not a film producing nation, but for him to trust that it's going to happen, and
Mm,
for Kanye to do the same. I don't think Kanye's background is in film as well, so y- so you have a lot of these elements, right, that
mm,
normally would work against such a production happening,
mm,
right? But
mm,
you guys just still, despite or in spite of these things, just pushing on. Part of
mm,
the reason why you're reaping the fruits now. And we believe in the universe, we believe in God, we believe in whatever we believe in.
mm,
I do believe that, when you put in the kind of work you guys did, believing in the product,
yeah.
it's only right that you reap the benefits.
Thank you. I mean,
It's only right that you reap the benefits. And I think it's really testament, and a lot of people should take a leaf from your book to say, listen, no ocean, no brick wall, no
mhm,
bars can keep you from whatever goal you've set.
exactly. And
Yeah.
people should also be aware of the fact that when people fund your project, they don't just have a financial stake on the returns, they have a stake on the narrative. You choose. And the part of the reason that I had to wait and say I have X money, but we need Y money, and I had to wait until we had Y money, is because Y money includes us being able to premiere in the US as we did at the Roxbury Film Festival. Y money includes us premiering in every continent of the world as we have done. And Y money includes us sort of going into year two since the release of the film and still winning best film in India as we did last week. So
Imagine.
that's what Why Money does. And that's what we need help with, to have Why Money every time. That's the best way I can simplify it.
No, I got you. But you did start somewhere, because I remember a few years ago, you were part of a short film production, a sci-fi movie,
Yeah.
and I pay attention. I told you, and and
Yeah.
um and when this movie was announced, and it was when you started shooting, when it was released, for me it was like, it wasn't just boom out of the blue. You
Thank
you
you.
you had done something similar, and I may be wrong in saying this. Once again, you correct me, but I feel like some of what you applied in this movie were from lessons that you learned in the last.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, the lessons that I learned as a, when I was in drama school in London, and this is 2007, and I was cast in my first Hollywood film opposite Matt Damon. Lessons from that, having to fly to Morocco to shoot that Green Zone, uh, to lessons of doing a United Kingdom, doing 2064, which is the one that you're referencing, the first queer love story from Botswana that was high profile. Um, and actually was the first Oscar qualified film from Botswana. So when I did now Partly Cloudy and Hot, and it's these 12 minutes that also become uh, Oscar qualified, and it was a second effort that I was a part of. It was something that I was very proud of. And that's why I think that when I invite stakeholders to the table, is to say, look what has been done, right?
Yes.
I'm not
Yeah.
dreaming out of thin air. I'm dreaming from facts and documented wins. We have Partly Cloudy and Hot now, which has won more than 15 awards, right?
Wow.
And these awards that cut across being for the producer, the writer, the
Yeah.
actors. Kaune and Zenzo won big in Canada, for example, but the film also won big around the world, including India last week.
That is amazing. It is brilliant. And I mean, again, congratulations, man. Like,
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
and
I appreciate it.
what's funny is I was, and
Yes.
part of why I reached out to you, like, to say, hey, can I'm blessed to know this gentleman right here, and to be on first name basis with him, regardless of where he is in the world. I just pick up my phone. I'm like, hey, how you doing, frérot? And he responds. And I'm in the car, and I'm driving, and I'm hearing they're bigging up the film on Gabs FM. They say, oh, there's a local production that's doing well internationally. And I'm like, Eddie, you're sleeping on yourself. You have a platform that can allow you to chat with anyone. You have
Yeah.
this person, you can just reach out to him, and if he's available, he'll reach back out. Like,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
you have an entire radio station that the best they can do right now
Mm.
is to give props, randomly.
Big up Know the
So
Ledge.
you know what I'm saying. You
Yeah,
know
Know
what
the
I'm
Ledge
saying.
pick
So
up
I was
here.
like, definitely. So I really, really felt like, what, this is a conversation we need to have. I remember when I came back from Nairobi. I don't know if you remember. You were, and I think I was visiting at the time, and you were at Gabs FM. Doing an Upright African on Gabs FM, and you had me randomly, and you're like, "Yeah, dude, come, let's have a conversation about your travels." I don't know if you remember that.
Okay, I was like remembering the Nairobi part because you and I were in
We
Nairobi
were, yeah,
together,
we were in
but
Nairobi.
I don't remember having
Before
you on the
that.
show
Yeah,
when I was at Dubs FM.
yeah.
So,
One
but
time.
I'm glad that we did that. Yeah.
So, but I have to ask, like,
Mm.
and I remember, like, your experiences with traveling and going to Germany, and doing the most out in Germany.
Yeah, I was a bit excited then. Yeah. I've
No, we
calmed
have to
down,
be.
Eddie. I've calmed down. I have.
Nah, I think that guy is still there inside somewhere.
Yeah.
Put the right two surfaces together, and I'm sure the the fire will pop out, and everybody will have their eyes popping out their eye sockets like, oh my goodness, they can do that.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I just have two things I wanted to find out. Like,
Hmm.
one, that before we jump into like AOB, which is, just Africa in general and Botswana in general, I just want to find out about how you think Botswana can really work to get its stories out there, through film, through the small screen, through cinema, because there seems to be, an appreciation for our stories, right?
Hmm.
Um, but I'm scared that I'm trying to choose my words carefully. You know the diamond story, right?
Yeah.
You know the diamond story. You know the underbelly of the diamond story.
Hmm.
And I'm scared that our stories will turn into diamonds, right? And someone will come, mine those stories, and we will only be benefactors of those
Yeah.
stories rather than
Yeah.
being part and parcel of telling those stories. So,
Yeah.
how do you think we can really grab this bull by the horns and really, make the most of it?
Yeah. I have always believed that it starts with education. I think that's the activist part of what I do. Every project that I have ever done that has gone into the public uh, attention has always been an intergenerational dialogue. So I think that that's where we should start, by just the education system acknowledging that we want to learn more than photosynthesis. We are African children in a specifically, endangered environment. The UNESCO tells us how many of our languages are endangered. So start with the education. That's really where parents and the school and other institutions meet, in terms of best interests of the child. So let's start there. And that's what made me really sort of get active with the Upright African movement since 2017. And now that I'm stepping down as president, I hope that the next president will also prioritize ways we can uh, get to the same, at the same goal, but in creative ways.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Mm.
That's brilliant. And, in terms of now the output, right? Because I think you've touched on the ownership and the creation, right? What we can do
Mhm.
to create and to
Yeah,
really build.
yeah,
But of course, there's the other side where, for example, for you, you knew you had to raise certain funds,
yeah,
and it wasn't like, oh, let's do this thing for free. No, 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 no.
yeah,
Just give me
yeah.
some time. I'll get you the money, and we're gonna do
Mm,
it the right way.
mm.
What does it take, like, to get to that point where, we're not just doing each other favors, we're really
Yeah.
working and really building something that is tangible, that can be bought, that
Mm.
can be syndicated?
Yeah, we have to respect each other. Let's start there. We have to respect each other. I have to know who Eddie is, what Eddie brings to the table, and to honor that. I can't just be bargaining, um, you know, just randomly. I have to know when I approach Gaune, for example, who I'm approaching. In all our publicity, PCH was talking about Gaune as Botswana's first supermodel. She had to be approached that way, right?
Yeah,
If we're going to
yeah.
talk about Zenzo Ngobe as someone whose debut was in an Oscar-winning film, a first ever for Africa as a continent, then he had to be approached that way. He had to be flown to the place. He had to be. They both had to be flown there. So there's logistics. There's things that are just sort of a given as an approach, so that when we come to them and say, "Okay, K and Z, this is what we want to negotiate in terms of, say, royalties. Sorry, there's a better word for it than royalties for film, but I mean things that you earn down the line,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. I see what
Yeah,
you mean. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. That the respect is already there, and then you have a leg to stand on when it comes to negotiations because they feel respected already.
Yeah.
Um, so instead of starting someone at a ridiculous amount of money, we speak to their managers, find out how much they charge, and we speak to them. Okay, you're charging 100,000. Okay, we are going to. I'm giving that as an example. We're going to
Hmm.
be able to give you 100,000, but then after we give you that, can we talk about the rights to the story afterwards and things like that? So, for me as an actor, who is now a producer, I had to have those conversations, Eddie, because I'm
Yeah.
tired of being part of stories that I don't have any stake to.
That's big, man. That's big, and yeah, and you're working on something new.
I am, and ooh, I'm so excited. Yeah. I'm excited because I am going to be in it as an actor. And I think
Mm.
it's been a while since I've sort of my acting chops and put them on. People know that I retired from Broadway, um, 2 years ago after a 15-year long career, but like they don't know what I've done since then as a
Yeah.
performer. So as a performer, I'm going to be in Muitubu, and Mulibi Mapanyani has been cast in Muitubu. Tamara Astor, who's an English actor, is also in Muitubu. So we are waiting to see um, what next, because it has to be done this year and get out this year.
Oh wow, that's awesome. And I'm gonna be patient. Okay, I'm gonna be patient. I'm not gonna jump the gun, and I will allow the audience to do some work as well. Because sometimes we in the media we get excited and we do the work for
Yeah,
the audience
yeah,
when sometimes the communication has to happen. The same
yeah.
way I found out who the lead when the lead was chosen and you announced it. Um, the same way, for example, we're finding out about Party Cardi and Hot really doing what it's supposed to do. We're finding out through the regular channels, and sometimes we need to let things happen that way. You
Yeah,
know,
organically, innit?
organically. Yeah,
Organically,
yeah,
just
yeah.
yeah,
Because those are how things should happen at the end of the day, and it's a
yeah,
lot, and you feel like you're really part of the story when you've gone from zero to this production and that production winning awards. It really feels like we're part of it.
yeah.
And on that side, just one last question.
Mhm.
How do we get access to the movie? Like how do we watch the movie? How I know we
So,
spoke about screenings and everything, but
hmm.
if someone who's watching this is interested in watching the movie, how can they do that?
For now, the festival. I mean, the fact that it was accepted into a festival in India and won last week, um, probably means that we are still in the festival circuit, but we
Mm,
are at the end of it. So before the end of this year, I anticipate that we will have more distributors coming to the table to negotiate um, terms or better terms.
I like that. No, get yours,
Yeah,
my brother. Get
yeah,
yours,
or better
definitely.
terms. We have to put our foot down, or better terms.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
We put money into this, we sweat and take our savings and make these things. They're worth something. So, or better terms, for us to be able to put it on their platform for streaming. But that's definitely coming next. I mean, we are Oscar qualified, which means that we screened at the most exclusive festivals and were noted there. We
Hmm.
went to the Bronze Lens Festival in the US, and that's after premiering at the Roxbury Film Festival in the US, and then
Hmm.
also just winning all these awards around the African continent where we are from. Is the Africans who affirmed us and made the world see that, hey, this thing has value. Someone sees themselves in it.
Yeah, that's brilliant, man. That's brilliant. And I'm going to ask one final question before
Mhm.
we jump on to something else.
Okay.
Let's bring it home.
Yeah.
How has been the response in Botswana?
The response has been wonderful. No, I mean that. I mean that. I know you're
Okay.
laughing. I'm laughing because you're laughing. But the response has been wonderful from Botswana themselves. Most social media, they have been our validator as we travel the world. Ria kobo Italy, kobo Nigeria, kobo Germany, all over the world. We've been to all continents in the world, but Australia and Botswana were the validation we had because batho bao botlhe ba re tsamayang re ba bontsha the film, they can look and say, "Ko ga lona ba reng ka yone a ba
Yeah.
ipona mo teng," and we say yes, bona gore ba reng. And Botswana
Yeah.
mo social media malatsing ba active ka
Yeah.
dilo tsa go thopela lehatshe la bone. So
Yeah.
we are very happy that we had their support. In terms of finances, of course, we have no finances in terms of sponsorship because this is the same old story that every filmmaker in Botswana sings,
Yeah.
that we lack support.
Yeah. The support that can get, that product
Yeah,
out the
yeah, the
right way.
support
And
that can get us, Eddie, from a short film to a feature film. We've
yes.
shown that we
Yes.
are Oscar worthy twice
Yeah.
when we do films that are in the short format. Now, what if we did the 90-minute version, right?
Yeah.
And we were given the resources, then maybe we might actually prove ourselves on an unprecedented level. And I think that's coming.
Absolutely. Because I mean, I watched a series recently on Netflix. I might sidestep a little bit called
Mm,
"Soon Comes Night," right? And it's
mm,
100% fictional story, South African shot, and
yeah.
this thing was on the level of a Hollywood production,
Mm.
And I'm like, I'm sorry. I mean, South Africa has the infrastructure. They have the means. I always
Because
say
how
that.
else are you supposed to compete, Eddie, without
Thank you.
interrupting you too much? Because
No,
I
no, no.
can't
I'm with you.
compete with you and say, "Oh, you're a lion," but guess what? I'm gonna come as a cat.
Cat. Yeah, you know what I'm
It's not
saying.
gonna help me as a
It's
cat.
not gonna help you. Yeah, you're
I
gonna get
have to
eaten.
compete as a lion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I'm like, okay. I'm looking at the acting. I'm like, okay, and I'm like, I know people who can run laps around these guys. As good as they are, right? As good as they are, I know guys who can run. I know guys personally who can
Yeah,
run laps around them.
of course.
And the only reason we are uploading now is more so because of the aesthetics, than the actual substance. The story is great, the aesthetics are awesome, and that's what gets you in certain corridors. It's not necessary. They'll be like, well, you guys tried, but the reason we're allowing this to go where it's going is because of the aesthetics and because of the story that was told. So I really believe that I'm really hoping that this year, or it has to be this year, because it's a big year for Botswana this year, and we're gonna, if we miss it this year, we're gonna go through another cycle. And every cycle there's a new agenda, a new cause being pushed.
Of
And
course.
yeah, this
I mean,
cycles. Yeah, go on.
no, I mean, Eddie, we have 2 years before we turn 60. One
Yeah.
of those 2 years we are busy campaigning and running around and dumbing ourselves down. I can explore and I can expand on that.
Yeah.
And then the other year is barely a year.
Yeah.
And
It's
then
a transition. Yeah.
it's a transition that we have to pretend is a year, because the committees that will be set up before we turn 60 have to be validated by us pretending that it's a full year. So here comes
So, yeah. So where I'm clenching my butt cheeks and crossing my fingers and everything that I have, that
Yeah.
someone gets hit with a rock and they realize the potential, that is available to them right now, because you can only win from this. There's no loss.
No,
If you
no.
pick up something that is already winning, you can only win from that. You can only go upwards from there.
Yeah, but you, Eddie, can say that, and you can say that from a place that is the same privilege that I'm speaking from, which is that you and I can go across Africa in multiple countries, speak the local language in this one, speak the local language in that one, speak local. There is a cultural understanding that is tied directly to your power as an African. Once you can see yourself being in East Africa and Southern Africa and Central Africa, West Africa, you even go to across the water to the US, and you still realize your power there through the hip hop history that you do there. That is what is lacking in the education of the African child, in that they don't see themselves as being tied at all to Black people in America, or having anything historically to do with people in the Caribbean who look like them. So for me, yes, we are speaking from a certain privilege that we are trying to afford to others. And what's lacking is knowing that Eddie and Hassan can connect. Yes, there's an ocean between these people, but they have the same skin. Can we talk about that?
Same skin, same ways of thinking, because
Yeah.
we spent 3 days, really him really trying to find out the type of person I am and really
Did
asking
he?
me all these questions.
Oh, nice,
Yeah,
nice. He's very
and
deep. He's very
yeah,
thoughtful.
and at the end of his visit, it's like, dude, I've learned so much from you, and I really respect you. And I'm thinking, I'm like, I'm not the one who crossed an entire ocean, went to Joburg, and took a bus to an unknown place.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
maybe, Eddie, we should tell our people who are listening or watching us that Rasan is African American, right?
yeah.
And he and I went to college together in Massachusetts, and so then you and him being in Botswana and having the conversations that you were having was to speak directly to this charged relationship that exists between continental Africans and diaspora Africans. No one seems to want to talk about that, but we know it is there. So I say, when I saw my brothers together there, Eddie and Rasan there at the Three Chiefs Monument, I was celebrating. That's a big Pan-African moment.
It is. It is huge. And in so many ways, because I'm not even Botswana. I'm from the DRC.
Yeah.
Right? Can you imagine? I'm from the DRC,
Yeah.
and I'm telling Botswana's story, to
C'est
to
pour
to
ça
to
que tu es mon frère.
Oui, c'est ça, c'est exactement ça. C'est comme une magie, c'est bizarre, mais c'est aussi très, 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 très joli. C'est très
Ah oui.
beau en tout cas.
Ah oui.
It's really beautiful, and I think the last few months I've really appreciated, Botswana as a gem, because we say, we have diamonds, but the beauty of Botswana really is that ability to provide a platform for so many people from so many different cultures to just express themselves, right? And again, I really hope the powers that be buy into the idea of Botswana telling their own stories, selling themselves as a population, because if every month for the last 3 months I've had an African American from the US come down to Botswana randomly, visit and get the best experience they've ever had. If for the last 5 to 6 months I've spoken to Africans from the diaspora, from Ghana, from Belgium, from France, and all of them either want to visit or visited, and some of them who've dined in the finest places, telling me that, yo, this chicken is the best chicken I've ever had,
Of
period, ever.
course.
You
Mm,
know,
mm,
in
mm.
in Habaroni, in Botswana, it means something. It's
Yeah,
not random. it's
yeah.
it's it's not just I happened to be in Southern Africa, so I went to Botswana. If you really look at it, we don't have that much clout as
No, we
as
don't.
a people.
No,
We
we don't.
don't. So the fact
Um,
that people want to really experience it is not even about our infrastructure. It's about the people. That means we really have something, and we need to share it and express it. Now,
of course.
before as we wrap up,
Yes.
I have a plea.
Yes, please.
I have one plea.
Yes.
Um, I this as a producer, right? There's something you're after, and it would be wrong for you not to get what you're after, right? As a producer,
Yeah.
but
Mm.
I really think this this movie will do a lot to kind of spark conversation around some of the issues that are discussed in the movie, right? And I really, 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 really would love it if this movie went on tour around the country.
Me too.
How it would how it would happen, I don't know. When it would happen, I hope it's before my head is as gray as my chin. But I would love for that to happen, and especially for it to take place in schools, because
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think our you know uh, secondary school students, the form threes to form fives,
Hmm.
nowadays they become men very quickly,
Yeah.
and the sooner they ask some of these questions, the I think the easier the conversation becomes, right? So
Absolutely.
I don't know what we can do, right? I mean,
Mm,
I'm working at a school right now.
mm,
Um, and if you want us to work together to use the school as a guinea pig to see if
mm.
this can be done and how it can be done. um if we have to organize virtual conversations, the school I work at has a pretty decent internet connection. If you want
Yeah.
to use the place as a platform to have virtual conversations with you as a producer, with a director, with the actors, I think it would do a lot to just get the story out there and get people
Yeah.
talking.
I would
Yeah.
love that. I would love that. And I mean, the point of putting these stories into embodiment is to
Mm.
get the community talking, and
Yeah.
who is more at the forefront of community than the future of the community, and that's the children.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
yes, I would have to check with you that it is child friendly,
Hmm.
since you said school,
Mm.
and then we can go from there. Because
Yeah.
I know there's a scene, of course, when we talk about male infertility, the way you test whether you are fertile or not as a male,
Mm.
you have to produce sperm, and there are things
Yeah.
you have to do to produce sperm.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
portrayed in the film. So
Yeah.
you and I will have to watch that together and see if uh, there's
Yeah.
something we can do about that. Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. That's fine. I mean, we'll
If
we'll
at
work on
all we
it.
have to
And
cover it up. Maybe it's something they have to do. Who knows? Yeah.
who know? I mean, who knows? I mean, it's about. I mean,
I actually
the
think
head of
that's yeah.
secondary.
It's not that graphic.
Yeah, the
It's
head
not
of
like
secondary is a personal
yeah,
friend, so I'll just reach out to him,
yeah,
and
yeah.
maybe we can have a three-way conversation about it, and then he'll make that final decision.
That'll be cool.
He's a very he's from the
Yeah,
UK, and he's very outgoing, so I'm sure he'll make the best decision, and
I'm happy to
we'll
hear
move
that.
from there. Yeah, we'll
Mm.
move from there. But outside of that, man, thank you so much for taking
Thank
I don't want to take too much of your
you,
time. Thank you for taking the
bro.
time.
Thank you. The gratitude is all mine, and thank you for making time as well. Because talking about this film that I know Botswana haven't seen, but it's for good reasons. We don't have sponsorship to launch in Botswana.
I
Again, like I said, we have to respect our stars. I'm not
yeah.
going to ask Kaune to take the bus to come to Gaborone for a premiere.
Mm,
There's a
that's
package,
not
there's a
happening.
cost to that package of how she has to be
Mm,
flown in, myself, Zenzo, and all these people, and how we have to do a
mm,
proper red carpet, the same way we would do it, the same way we have done it for other films about Botswana. So
mm.
I am very happy. Thank you so much. I'm very grateful.
Now,
Thank you.
thanks, man.
Yeah.
And I think just those last lines have really put a lot into perspective, and I think people are going to appreciate uh, where you're coming from
Hashtag
because I
Oscar
think
qualifying. I mean,
exactly.
what do we have to do, Eddie?
What do we have to do? What that we haven't done already? Oh
It's
man,
a bit
well,
embarrassing for the country for us to get this government that keeps saying we have these initiatives, initiatives, and then you have this parallel world where Boka Oneka Rio are winning Best Actress Awards in Canada, Donald Mulusi are winning Best Producer in Nigeria, and we are all winning Best Film in India. The world is watching, is thinking, who are the real ambassadors of the people here? We're not talking government. Who are the ambassadors of the people here?
yeah.
So be careful in 2024 election year, ruling party, and all of them, if you're watching, because now I never mince my words. They know what I think about them. I think they've misled the country into a ditch, and they have the responsibility to pull us out of that ditch so that we can vote for others if we choose to do that.
If we choose, and you know, and the
Yeah.
thing is, nothing stops you from pulling people out of a ditch,
Mm.
even if you got them in there. I mean, it's
Yeah,
in
because
a
it's
country that says
embarrassing, Eddie. We have
in a
people
country,
who have tablets and all these
yeah.
things that they can do. We have this chama chama thing going on now. People's dignity is not being spoken to. They are in lines outside these offices, starving in those lines just to sign a form that doesn't even get them into a sort of being eligible for the fund. It gets them into being eligible to be considered by another agency. So there's a second application. That is not speaking to people's dignity. And we can do better because stories give people dignity. And maybe if we invested more in sports than in flying around the world to attend conferences whose fruit we have not seen, maybe that would be better than maintaining this private jet that flies around the world so much, with such a huge entourage. It's almost embarrassing. I live in the UK, Eddie. I've been seeing the whole elephant discourse going on in the UK with the Botswana government's involvement. It has been embarrassing for one reason that I'll share with you: how much we are seeming to spend on this sort of rushed mission to convince people. Some of us have been speaking for years that you need to stop prioritizing the story of diamonds and beef and animals and talk about people. I even have an interview with Air Botswana magazine that I talk about all of that from like 10 years ago, right? And so we seemed like with the weird ones. Oh my God, don't they know that our elephants are the best? Don't they know this? But that's going to catch up with you now because you don't have the human story cultivated. You only have the story of the animals cultivated. And you're going to send a delegation at such an expense, at such a taxpayer's expense to the UK for almost 2 weeks to do what that you haven't done consistently. You could
Imagine.
learn from seeing what your opponents have done.
Yeah.
They have had a consistent years of lobbying about this stuff. They didn't just wake up and say, oh, the parliament in the UK is going to be discussing this, so we better run. No. Look at what your opposition people have done. The ones that you have pointed to on record, you know, we know all of them, but look at how they've operated so convincingly. You
Yeah.
cannot talk about Botswana as a destination that just has flora and fauna. You have to talk about the human stories. And that's all we want. But
Yeah,
brother,
that's all we need.
so Please, I know I'm
Thank you.
not taking up too much of your time.
No, 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 absolutely not. And you know that last part was very necessary because I had a conversation last month about that very topic.
I bet you
What
did.
you just said now about moving away from flora and fauna and what's under the ground and actually
Yeah,
talking about the real diamonds. Who are the people of the country?
yeah. And
That's it.
what's under the ground? Who are the people of the country? That
Mhm.
makes us face ourselves in the mirror and realize our xenophobia and confront it. You were just
Yeah.
telling me now, which I already knew, that your family is from the DRC, but I'm sure there's experiences we could talk about.
Yeah.
Botswana have not yet tapped into the idea that they are part of Africa, that they are not the exceptional black child in that corner with a
Mm.
gold star. Anyway, my brother, I
Well,
wish you a wonderful Eid. Tomorrow is Eid if you celebrate.
thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Take
Yeah.
care of yourself. We'll wait. Hey man, the big question is when are you coming back? But that you're gonna answer that.
It has to be a job. It has to be a job.
Yeah.
It has to be a job. Because
I like that.
my partner's here, my life is here for
Yeah.
now until my visa runs out. And then when my life will be in Botswana involuntarily, then sure. But we can't count on that. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
No, no, I
so it
like,
has to be a
I
job.
love it. I love it when Botswana go out there and shine
Mm, mm,
and really value the appreciation they get there. Because back in the day,
mm.
Botswana were always appreciated all over the world, but it was they always wanted to come back home. And there's nothing wrong
Exactly.
with that. But
Exactly. I mean, I can come
if
back home for your birthday for private things like that, for like my
yeah,
private friends. But I'm not going to come back and do public things because they
yeah,
cost me. They cost me my time, my family
mm,
time. Um, I would rather come back and know that I'm on a job
yeah,
and after the job I can see people or whatever.
yeah.
Yeah,
If you need a holiday, come. This can
I
be your holiday
will.
destination.
Ah, no better place. No better place, please. Thank you.
All
Thank
right,
you so
man.
much, Eddie.
Thank you so much once again. Enjoy the rest of your day. And yeah, we'll definitely continue talking about some of these projects that we spoke about, and let's
Absolutely.
really make it happen.
And
All right,
thank you
bro.
for always being so kind and so supportive to me. You and your wife and your son. When I lived in Botswana, you were so supportive of me. You and your wife. Their son wasn't born then. And then when I lived in Kenya, you were also really supportive of me. I went to your house, ate your food, I everything. So that's why I say I am in a family dynamic.
You have a room. You have a room here. Anytime, anytime, just reach out. There's a room prepared for you. Definitely in this
Thank
home.
you.
All right, bro. I'm gonna send you something offline just now because actually no. You know what I'm gonna do? I want to
Mm.
see your reaction. How do I do this thing? Yeah, there we go. Um, just watch. Check out your chat right now.
Oh shoot. No, because Eddie, I don't do social media at all.
I
I
I know. I know.
there's a baby girl.
Hey, you're supposed to read it, not aloud. Don't read it aloud.
Oh, where
So
is it?
that's that. Anytime now. You see your chat? Yeah.
Where is it?
Anytime now.
I can't see it. Can you
You
please show it
can't
to
see
me
it.
again?
Let me
No,
share send it again. You
let
read
me
it
see.
though.
Yeah, I only saw what I said. Let me see. Oh my god! Oh, and that's from Eddie. Oh my god! Yes, there's a baby girl in me, and she will come out in my next film because my drag personality called Dumela Fela. She has a Facebook page. I wear wigs. It's my time, Eddie. I think all my friends who've always been my friends have always known he's a little bit feminine. So I mean, I'm sure you've always known,
That
but it's for me to say, please, let's push this thing and have fun. Uh-huh.
yeah.
So Dumela Fella on Facebook, and Muitubu is actually my character. Will be Dumela Fella coming to life.
Oh my
I'll be
goodness!
wearing the wigs and the fishnets. It's about time.
Oh my goodness, that'll be! I can't wait to see that.
You will never let me go. I have to go eat.
All right. Have fun. All right, bye.
Thank you.
All right, man. Take care.
Yeah.
All right. So that was my main man. My main man. Donald. We we go way back, and that's someone I really appreciate. He's doing amazing things. And you guys who watched the live, who listened to the live, got to have this full conversation. And of course, in a few hours or maybe tomorrow, the constricted version of that conversation will drop on the channels, and of course out here in on TikTok as well. I hope everybody was able to listen into that conversation. It's almost 9 p.m. I am starving. I'm gonna go on another break. I'm gonna play a little bit of music, and when I come back, we're gonna wrap up and say goodnight. And yeah, so that was amazing. I mean, it was worth the wait. This man is doing great things out there. So let me see, what do I have for you guys? There's a song that I love to play. I love to play this song, like There's No Tomorrow. So yeah, here it goes. That's the wrong one.
But so to be the click. One time for your mind. My fruits of labor will have your conscience moving, similar to the apple that fell on Isaac Newton. Inside the future, son, I see error of the golden age coming back. It gets better. Change is inevitable. Now we get poetical, similar to ancestors. This will mess up your mindset. Originality is more than just a complex concept. The second information, what you possess in your temple. Cause even hip-hop was birthed out of a simple. Enough with the politics, not that we out of it. I grab a chalk and break bad mathematics. A veteran alchemist, I start the math lesson. On a graph, I beat the x-axis, I access your axis. The fact is you be like y-axis, your axis, I access and exit. And that's just a fact, kid. It is a known fact, poetic as a fact. Y'all just run away, so won't get known fact. It is a known fact, poetic as a fact. Y'all just run away, so won't get known fact.
Veteran, veteran. Veteran, veteran. Veteran, veteran. Veteran.
When I die, you bury me in a sarcophagus. Nothing new under the sun, that's what the knowledge is. I am the light you needed for photosynthesis. Hip-hop and so dark, no growth, no emphasis. Structure my DNA will puzzle a biologist. I'm not a narcissist, but I insist. No experiments on my body by a scientist. With us to take a syphilis, I spit so ridiculous. It's like a girl hates math, the way she is figureless. You can't move a muscle, we cut off your ligaments. You hardly train your thought, even a little bit. The brain is a muscle, you're not mentally fit. You just seem to be, but you ain't my friend though. UFO like extraterrestrial. You ain't got game like the National Stadium. If words are a weapon, then I'm verbally killing them. It is a known fact, poetic as a fact. Y'all just run away, so won't get known fact. It is a known fact, poetic as a fact. Y'all just run away, so won't get known fact.
Veteran, veteran. Veteran, veteran. Veteran. Veteran.
I'm the first most facing like Yuri Gagarin. I smoke no weed and I smoke no opium. I got more lines than bus ranks after 4 p.m. But up on my line, street is sesame. I got more game than wild girls go pitane. I don't owe you none, son. I also nyaka. I rock your head forever like Roy Cesana. All black, everything we duck in the global. While you kinda blocking, cause I got low. You know me from the top of the dome. I pray more beef than the one like I do homo. During the wedding, link up on my lomo. You old ladies like Black Man Basil. I break more codes than my name Leonardo. Timba so very push, I'm a tabelo for me and the team. Grim Shalele. Poetic as a veteran.
Veteran.
Poetic as a
veteran.
Yeah, Poetic is a veteran. That's Poetic syntax with it is a known fact. Poetic is a vet. Y'all just run away. See a bonga don't vet. It came out a while back, but still one of my favorite songs. Like I said, Botswana just has a lot of talent, and it's being here is just it's amazing. It's beautiful. Um, yeah, I think that we can wrap up the show now. Thank you so much. Look out for for the specific conversations that are gonna drop very soon. But yeah, outside of that, thank you so much for joining us. I was really, I kind of figured out the whole what I was trying to do, but we're gonna do it better next week. And we'll keep growing. We'll keep growing. I'd like to thank, of course, like to thank Lucas Jobs for taking the time to have a conversation. Of course, thank you to my good friend Donald for stepping in and having a conversation as well. That was brilliant. Thank you for Gua Simas Gel for for supporting us and supporting the show. Really appreciate it. And all as always, thank you to to Star Cherry, to Star Cherry Botswana, through its one of its sales reps, for one of its agents, actually, if I should call it that, for also taking the time out to support this right here. I friend of mine is calling. Let me see if I can take this real quick. Hey yo, what's up, bro? I'm chilling, man. How you doing? That was a call and a half. Okay, guys, I gotta go now. It's 9 p.m. We'll see you next week. Oh, I gotta say bye to these guys right here too. Yo, I gotta go. I gotta go, guys. We'll see you next week. Next week, Monday, as always. Something dope is gonna drop. Take it easy, guys. Peace. What I'm going to finish with is I can't finish with can't finish with anything. This was a crazy one. Peace, guys. Peace, peace, peace.